Tesla just announced their Q1 earnings. There was an earning call as well with Elon Musk and the executive staff, and boy, am I pissed. And I don't even own a single share of Tesla. I mean, just not good. Let me take a deep breath, call my therapist, calm down, and I'll tell you all about it next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric.
Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. If this is your first time here, I'm not usually this flustered, but I'm glad you tuned in. Go ahead and click on that subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything moving forward. All right, so the Q1 earnings have been reported, and not that we didn't have any heads up. Obviously, they've reported their sales for the Q1. It was definitely not very good in the first place, but they definitely beat all of the expectations as far as how bad it translated into math. They reported over $700 million in losses, and that's in addition to them paying over almost $1 billion loan, which was good, right? But this is one of their worst losses on record, quarterly losses on record, more than doubled the expected loss per share, which is not good at all, and also forecasted a loss in the next quarter as well, even though last time Elon said that they're really hoping, and they were pretty confident they were going to go back to still making profits in Q2. Let me remind you, Q3 and Q4 were all at unexpected and great profits. Now, one thing that I did hear, now, by the way, the earnings call was kind of boring, which I mean it in a good way. Like, we don't want that Elon Musk show as far as like moving the stock up and down or whatever. I like when it's boring. I like it, when it's just business, no emotions, not hanging up on any analysts or anything like that. Elon did, and actually most of his staff sounded kind of down or tired. I don't know which one it was. I mean, yes, there wasn't much to celebrate as far as earnings, but the reason I'm pissed is actually I've never seen this great of a quarter for a car company as far as the achievements. I mean, Tesla has done absolutely stunningly amazing in terms of production of Model 3 has been great. They finally reached the $35,000 version. The V3 superchargers came out with a pretty damn amazing charge rate. The Model S and Model X had finally got refreshed. They announced the Model Y. I mean, I can go on and on and on with all of these amazing things that are going for this company that it looks like figured out how to make great cars in large numbers. They're beating all expectations and all the numbers, one of the best selling cars out there, if not the best in some categories, and yet they can't make money on this. This is a concern. This is a concern because right now their production is at its max, right? Until they open a new factory in Shanghai, until the Model Y is being made, like this is it for the next at least year. This is what they've been kind of getting to, producing all these cars, selling Model 3s. They're able to sell it. People want them. The profit margin, by the way, they're saying it's about 20% already on the Model 3. Obviously, it's higher for the Model S and Model X. And yet, they are not making money. As a matter of fact, they're losing a lot of it. And do you guys not see how it's disconnected? And I know a lot of people say, well, Alex, you're just such a Tesla hater. No, if I was a Tesla hater, I would be like, great, I told you guys, see? But the problem is Tesla, we all need Tesla to do well. They like this is bad. I wouldn't have my job if it wasn't for Tesla, right? I have some major problems with the company, but I love the cars, and I know they're the leaders in here, and this is really not good news for them. Now, Elon finally admitted to one of the analysts that there is probably a reason to think that they might start raising capital because they're down to like a little over $2 billion in a bank. That's down again from what they had before. It's really not that much for a company of that size, especially a company that once again going to be losing money, probably $200-300 million in the next quarter, but yet still wants to expand with more superchargers, with building a factory. He toyed with an idea, maybe building a factory in Germany, which does make sense as well. But what I really don't like is that they just cannot adult. How do you lose all this money when you're making all these cars and your factory can barely turn these cars around to the customers that they want them. Then once again, they said that the delivery problems in Europe and China were to blame. But I'm sorry, they've been delivering these cars to Europe and China for several years now. They should have figured out the logistics. Yes, they started, exporting them in larger numbers, but scaling did not seem to be the problem. It seemed like they hired new firms and new companies that didn't work out right away. There were many logistical problems. This didn't seem like a scaling problem. This seemed like they were doing this for the first time ever and failing. And so, no, you can't just blame that. Oh, well, what are you going to do? It's really far away, and there's an ocean in between and things happen. No, you guys have to, you should have figured this out. You knew that you were going to start exporting cars in Q1. You should have been ready. You do have already some experience with this. This is just not acceptable. And then how is this going to be different in the next quarter? Why are you guys expecting the loss again? Have you not solved those problems yet? Like, all of these questions are coming up, and you can't just blame the fact that there's an ocean between us and it's a different country. So that just doesn't sit well with me. I'm worried about the fact that they're making good margins now, amazing margins if you think about it on the Model 3, and yet they're just not able to turn the profit. So those are the things that concern me. And don't get me wrong, there are quite a few things that they have done wrong, but this is the logistical part of it. This is, they have figured out how to make amazing cars, but they're just not able to adult as far as logistics. The customer service still sucks. It sucks. It's the reason that I don't want these cars anymore. I might still continue taking the abuse just because I just don't see myself jumping into e-tron just yet. And Biden's not here, obviously, until next year. So I might just take a plunge once again, but that's got to improve. And it's the easiest one to improve, to be honest with you. You just have to hire people who care and put some good policies by people who know how to do customer service. That hasn't been done. I mean, last earning calls, we all heard that Elon admitted that they still didn't know how to do parts distribution for their service centers. I mean, parts distribution they couldn't figure out after 5 years in business with these cars. The other logistics is obviously the fact that they just kind of made the Model 3 so much better, so much more attractive and cheaper. Then obviously people stopped buying Model S and Model X that were outdated. Only now they finally pushed the refresh, and now come to find out, it looks like they were going to do a full refresh that included interior and maybe even possible exterior, but they just kind of pushed it out just so people will get excited about buying these cars again. And by the way, Elon kind of sounded a little bit like kind of a used car salesman. Oh, I hate to say this because he started the call by basically trying to sell you a car. And that's not what the CEO should be doing ever, but especially during the earnings call. That was, I gotta tell you, it was almost like embarrassing. It's like, dude, not the time to do that. You're not the right guy to do this. You have your salespeople and marketing people worry about this. Don't be selling a car on an earnings call. But so they're finally getting some things right, and of course, and I think this has contributed greatly, and I think it's going to continue contributing, is this flip-flopping on pricing and the store opening and the $35,000 version, which, by the way, he said now that's still available, even though they've released an official statement how it was no longer available. I think they need to fix logistics, and I gotta tell you, man, I know I'm not exactly in the I'm definitely in kind of a pissed off mood right now, but someone's going to come in and help Elon with this logistical things, right? I mean, obviously the product is amazing. Obviously, almost everything they've done is amazing. But it's just what's not amazing is his ability to kind of run this company. And you know what? Maybe at some point, even the biggest Tesla fans, for the good of the company, for good of Tesla, I think people just need to start admitting that he needs help. There's no way a company that's producing these amazing products at such high rate should be doing this at all. I've been so pissed that I even forgot to mention the sponsor of this video. So let me get to it right now. Don't forget that this video is sponsored by Byton. Check out the Byton M-Byte, the all-electric SUV coming to the next year, and I can't wait. Check out the shared experience large screen in this car that will only start at $45,000. One of 5 screens in that car, over 50,000 reservations around the world. Make sure to get yours. Absolutely no money down, about 30 seconds to fill out a form and you're in. Go to Byton.com or use the link in the description of this video. Yeah, that's how I'm pissed off. I didn't even meet my contractual obligation for my sponsor with this. Or ran any of the videos I was going to run. See, I was going to run all kinds of fun videos for you guys. So yeah, listen. I, I really hope things will turn around, because what I'm seeing right now from these cars, from the tech, and even from self-driving stuff, you know, guys, I have not been really high on self-driving stuff, and I'm really loving what's coming out of there. Just no reason for them to be losing almost $1 billion a quarter at this point. Something's got to give, and I hope they're going to be able to fix it. So I'm cautiously looking forward to your comments. But I got to tell you, man, this is all out of love. This company really needs to survive. It needs to thrive. This is the year to do that. And I feel like the problem is within. I think everybody, there's a demand and there's a product that people want to buy, and they need to fix it. Don't forget to get on my VIP list, the weekly newsletter that we send out with some exclusive material that we're just not able to fit into this YouTube channel, some exclusive offers and so forth. So don't forget to subscribe to that. All right, looking forward to your comments. Nevertheless, other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.